I call this like 500 Christmas mornings, and this is how I feel. I wake up in the morning. I live in a small little apartment, but my class is full of damn cool dresses. Dress Barn, Avenue, Torrid, and wherever else I can get them on sale. And I like this one kind of too. It's kind of good. So it's fun. And I love who I am. And that's probably the biggest thing I want to tell you is that I was born like this. Jared, you come up here for a minute, please. Oh. He's my assistant. I just met him. Jordan, touch my hand. Jordan, do you have this sudden compulsion to do your nails in the dress? Like, no. You're still a guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't catch us. We're not contagious.
I'm not scared that I'm going to get caught.
I know you're not. I love you, man. Thank you. A lot of people in my generation think this is contagious. Most people think, in my generation, the boomers think I'm a drag queen or I'm a transvestite. I just like wearing my mom's makeup. No, that's not true. I hid in a closet, and I was, for all those years, and I kept thinking, that's crazy. And now people say, Lacey, can you put some of your stuff back into the closet? You're a little bit too out. You know, Lacey revealed, now Lacey unleashed. So I've had 10,000 students in my career, and I have two wonderful kids. And I must tell you, I wouldn't trade, I have a PowerPoint I'll show you in a minute, I wouldn't trade 50 years of Lacey for my kids. Because and there's a story with each one of them. Well, let me just share with you a couple things of my favorite things. This is Lammy. I think I'm going through kind of a delayed childhood as a girl. And this is Uni, and this is Cock. I haven't named Peacock yet, so I just call him Cock. I'm so sorry. It's really bad. Oh, but you're really cute, though. So anyway, and you probably didn't know you can get a scarf made with your. These are bad jokes. But I'll hold up the left side. Actually, I'm going to do a little stand-up. I decided I'm my own best material, so why not just do that? So you can get a scarf made with your picture on it. So I did that, and I had it made. So as you can see, it's Maryland. And everybody, I wanted to be Maryland, but I had to hide that. So, and I also want to share with you. It's really important to talk about. Let's see, which one is it? I want you to see my high school graduation photo. I graduated in 1965. Good God, that's before. It's a long time ago. So this is my graduation photo. And back then, everybody had flat tops. Ugly in sin. Of course, I had big ears. And when you have big ears and a flat top, that doesn't really work out really well. So that's he was a good guy, and but he wasn't very happy. And then I went to the prom, actually every year. I loved going to the prom. And this is my prom picture. And, yeah, thank you for laughing. That's good. So these are a few things. This is my really like my rainbow pony, my LGBT little pony. I love this baby. I haven't named him yet. So you have those. This is it's interesting. I go to a church in Royal Oak where I live. And I'm in Royal Oak, Michigan, and I go 5 nights a week. Yeah, tonight I'm missing a gospel band because I sing in the band, and I sing in front of about 400 people every week, and it's a blessing because they get me, and they understand who I am. And I'm not here to evangelize you, but I think my journey has been much more not physical. It's been much more emotional and spiritual than just physical. All this transformation. So. This cross was made by an 85-year-old lady in my church who made this for me. I thought that was pretty special. So, and this is what I want my book to be like. I'm writing a book, but I don't want it to be like before and after. That's kind of crazy. I want it to be, this is called A Peacock Among Pigeons. It's about self-love. And I had really good, strong professional self-esteem, good fatherly self-esteem, but not good personal male self-esteem, because I wasn't a male. I was female, and I was married 3 times, and I really wanted those to work, but I couldn't. It just didn't happen. So that's what I want my book to be like. And so anyway, I'd like to go through this real quick, and then, do you have any questions, first of all? Please don't just be, I want this to be active participation, so if you have questions, please stop me and ask me. Go ahead, honey.
What do you feel like, you know, you said you've kind of known since you were little, but did you have kind of a light bulb or defining moment where you felt like you really kind of knew?
Oh, I knew when I was 5 years old. Yeah, that was 1952. When you look in your history books, that's, I was born in 47. That's Eisenhower was president, and that's the Nazi inherit, and that everything was perfect in the world because nobody knew anything. There was no communication. There were 3 TV stations, and it went off at midnight. It was crazy. So, but I knew at 5. And I kept thinking, I felt really ashamed because when everybody was gone, I went up to my mom's, or when I could steal away, I went into her bedroom and tried on her heels and her nylons, and I wasn't sure what a girdle was, but she wore a girdle. That was a different style. I had a friend, I spoke to this is really cool. I spoke to the United Methodist Women's Group the other day. And the people, the septuagenarians and octogenarians and people in my church, the first ones that accepted me and embraced me were the older people. The old people in my church, and they seemed to get me, and because I wasn't in a bathroom, I wasn't recruiting. Say let's have a trans, let's everybody be trans. No, I just wanted to be happy, and so I spoke with them, and they were so wonderful. It was just so great, and so what really motivates me to speak because I can't speak, and I like to share my story because I think it makes a difference. Because I'm just trying to make it better. You guys seem to be really on top of stuff. I'm really proud of your generation. I have a daughter who's 20 and my son's 23. And but there was a young man named Danny Sohn, and Danny was a trans man. And Danny sang, this is gonna be hard. Danny sang with us in the gospel band. And he then moved out to Portland, Oregon, and was living with a group home with LGBT, his friends, and he ended up, he wrote his own music. He was this great kid, and I love Danny. Danny used to call me Miss Lacey, which really, that kind of made me feel good about myself. He said, Miss Lacey, you're kind of pretty. Well, as a trans woman at 71, you'll take anything you can get. So I said, that's good. I'll live with that, Danny. That's great. Then he said to me, but you need to moisturize your feet. And I said, thank you, Danny, for that. And he was right. So, but Danny sadly, 2 months ago, committed suicide. And so I think about Danny whenever I speak. And I'm going to speak as long as I have breath. Not because I'm so damn important. I would love to fly under the radar and just kind of be folded in, but I want to. It's 45%. People can argue about that. 45% suicide rate, or people who have tried it. I was there twice. It's in the December of 2016. That's how near it was. I had nervous breakdown. It was crazy. So it's not just trans people. Everybody has stuff in their lives, and you do too. You have stories. So yeah, I knew at 5. So anyway, so my best friends now are millennials, and because I'm not sure why. But I just like them. I sing with them in the band, and they're kind of like old souls, which is really cool. So the other day, Erica, I love this one. Erica said to me, Lacey, if you were in the Golden Girls, you would be Rose. I said, bullshit. I'd be a little bit of a Blanche too. I love Blanche. She's sexy. And yeah, what woman doesn't want to be a little sexy? I worked hard at this. This is not easy. And so I said, call me Ranch. A little bit of Rose, a little bit of Blanche. That's good. You guys are right on cue. So a lot of people in my generation have really not seen. They've never seen a trans woman. In fact, I've never seen a trans woman before. I'm the first one I saw. The one looked back in the mirror. And so I'm just so incredibly happy to be who I am. And being 71, I'm hopefully God will give me some. I think this sounds kind of crazy, but I think God helped me to really transition for a reason. And I ran a Muslim school. I ran a Jewish school. I was involved with I'm a Christian person, but I'm kind of an interfaith. And so, but I really believe that there's a power. and there's a spirit, and which is really important. But before I do that, I want to read something to you that I think is really, really cool. It has nothing to do with this presentation, but I just love this little girl. Her name is Emma. Do you remember when you were kids and you had to write on the 100th day of school something? Okay, this is Emma. And Emma says this. She was just pissed off about life and everybody around her. I love her sass and love her snarkiness. Emma says, age 10, when I turn 100 years old, I will be tired of everyone and everything. So I will tell everyone I'm going to Canada, but I'm actually going to the Bahamas. I'll live in a tiny hut with my tiny dog. I will eat fish tacos when I'm hungry, and I will live my best life with no crap. I love this kid. That's all I can give you up there. That's little Emma. So you guys are working to be counselors, and having run a high school and been a teacher. One of the things I'm really proud of is in 2000, when I was a principal at Berkeley High School, which is near Detroit, the kids came to me and said, Mr. Jim, we need to start a gay-straight alliance. Because they weren't even gay, but they had friends who were gay. And they had their parents were either lesbian or gay. Whatever the hell the term is now. I'm so confused, I have no idea even who I am anymore. I think I'm trans. I know I'm trans. But so we started the first gay-straight alliance in Oakland County, which now morphed into something called Bridges, which includes all of the, you familiar with that? Okay, I see nodding of heads. And so those kids are, your generation is getting it. My generation is so far behind. But I'm hoping that maybe a little bit, maybe I can touch one person and keep one person from not taking their life. Because I end my talk always by saying, nobody thought that their high school principal was going to be me, and wearing this red lipstick and false eyelashes, which I love, by the way. And my hairdresser says, Lacey, for God's sakes, take them off and put them back on. No, I like them on. I leave them on. And she says, well, you need a lint brush then. That was okay. It doesn't get any better than that, guy, so that's about as good as it gets. And so, but the kids are they're really accepting. And so I think your generation is much, much better. So this is about empathy. I call it compassionate listening. And listening is an act of love. Empathy is a strange and powerful thing. And if you're going to be a counselor, you need empathy. There is no script. There is no right way or wrong way to do it. It's simply listening, holding space, withholding judgment, emotionally connecting, communicating that incredible healing message of, you're not alone. That's a great definition of empathy. Her name is Brené Brown, which is a really wonderful author. So, all right, back to this. And I was going to make this a quiz, but I'm not doing that. BTW, born this way. I know I was. I have been, and I know many people are. And I'm the new church lady in my church, and hopefully with better legs. Have you seen the Dana Carvey's thing on Saturday Night Live? It's really a hoot. Isn't that special? It's kind of funny. I was born with the body of a boy and the brain of a girl, and I never understood that. I never understood why that happened. It was a curse and a blessing. I think in many ways it made me a better dad, it made me a better teacher, it made me a better principal. And but I wasn't effeminate. I fought that. In fact, I sang in restaurants and pubs as a teacher, and I purposely sang lower. I did Denver and Lightfoot and Diamond and some of those people that you probably never heard of. But I wanted to sing lower because I wanted to hide Lacey. Now I'm taking voice lessons, and I'm singing me. I'm finding my Lacey voice, and that's a beautiful thing. That's great. And in fact, I have a solo coming up in our church on Good Friday, and I'm singing "In the Arms of an Angel" by Sarah McLachlan. Heard that song? It's a really beautiful song. We're going to sing at the end, by the way, together. Yeah, look forward to that. Oh my God, can we just do it now? You're so excited, I can tell. Yeah. So what's the big thing I'm looking forward to? I always say begin where you are. This Friday night, I'm having a prom. I had a big, huge birthday party. I call it a communal birthday party back in September. And 60 people came. And I didn't know any of these people 18 months ago. So they're like wonderful people in my life. And most people in my life now are brand new people. because the other ones don't understand. My fraternity brothers that's okay. That's all right. So I'm having a prom. I had to go to the prom as the principal, because I wore a suit. Now I'm glamming my ass up. Glitter, and it's going to be fun. I have my dress, and it's going to be just we're going to have a blast. It's going to be good. I've hired 2 belly dancers. Yes. I can only do the hand part. I can't do the other part. They move parts of their body I didn't even know you could move. But it's really great. Oh, dear Lord. And Aziza, so I said, Aziza, I could do it for you. Oh, she says, no, honey, let me just take over this. You're not going to be teaching anybody anything. So 2 belly dancers and 2 people from my church are going to teach us salsa. And then we do, I call it diva karaoke. So that's a blast. And I love when people, so I have this big ass cake, and I'm buying a bunch of appetizers, and we're going to have a blast. I bought fans for everybody. Oh my God, where's my fan? Do I have a fan? Is it in here? Well, you know what I'm talking about. Those little fans kind of look funny. Just showing everybody's happy. We're going to have a good time. It's a lot of fun. So, and these are mostly people from my church. And they're intergenerational. My pastor, who just embraces our whole culture, every letter on here, whatever those are, said, Lacey, only God can bring these people together like this. He said, this is a kingdom party. And there's 2 people that I've adopted, really adopted, are Carl and Shirley Schaefer. Carl's 92, and Shirley's 90. And Carl, who fought in World War II, Shirley is just this wonderful person, and she's just gorgeous. And so Carl calls me his very large trans daughter. Thank you, Carl. I'll buy that. So it's ironic that people at my church, the older people, were the first ones to get me. My secretary is on the church board, my former secretary at the high school. And it was hard for her to just see me like this. And I get that. And it's all right. So I knew at age 5, prom. I feel resurrected. I had a nervous breakdown when I was 42. I was 2 near suicide attempts. And most of my life, this is the part that's hard to deal with. I lived my life outside in, which means I was a joy stealer. I got joy from my students, from my kids, from other people. Now, joy begins inside of me. I'm living it inside out. The things that were so important before, like food, I still like to eat, but food and sports aren't that important anymore. I live in this little apartment with a rabbit and a cat, and that's my family. And it's okay. I'm hoping someday there might be a person involved there, but we'll see. I've talked too much. Have any questions? Yes?
You did not talk too much.
What's that?
You said I talk too much, and I was going to say, no, you don't.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I love what you said, by the way. Yeah, that was very powerful. I respect you for that. What is your name?
My name?
First name?
Janine.
Janine?
With a J. Janine.
Okay, thank you. Yes?
Did you find the name Lacey, or did the name Lacey find you?
Well, I was first Jamie, then Juliana, then Gabriella. Would sound like somebody on 8 Mile. But Gabriella's kind of cool. I like a little Gabriella. You know, at my age, I'll do anything. Oh, by the way, this wonderful guy, I've been speaking a lot more lately, and I speak for free, and I speak for selfies and coffee, and that's it. So I don't charge. So the pastor wants you to paper out. I'm not looking for a place to sing, but if you find one, what I'd really like to do is I want to sing the sultry songs in a piano bar, like songs that are the old standards, like Summertime, and then maybe songs like Someone to Watch Over Me, and songs that you maybe from the 40s. So Lacey was a name of a little girl who was adopted by the Michigan State basketball team. And she was 8 years old. And if I could have been a little girl, which I couldn't have been, just the wrong time, I would have loved to have been her. She wore glittery cowboy boots and blonde hair, and she had this glitzy cowboy hat, and she was just this girly girl. I'm the world's oldest girly girl. I'm 71, but I love it. It's fun. I dress for me. I don't dress to compete. I just dress to be happy. And she died of cancer. And I said, maybe I can honor her life a little bit by taking her name. So I changed EY to an I. And that's the story of that little girl.
That's phenomenal.
She's a sweetheart. So I was really lonely in my own skin. You wouldn't think so, but I call it the dimming of the day. And when everything's talking right about now, when everything gets quiet and everybody's gone to bed, and then all of a sudden I got really lonely, and it's like it was really hard, and I wanted to be who I was, and I wanted to be me. I always knew I was going to be this. You know what I'm really proud of? About only 5% of people my age do this, and I think that's why I think God helped me to do this for a reason, because it's not easy, and my kids had difficulty, my daughter had difficulty, my son had difficulty, but they gave me grace, and I got my son back, and you'll see the pictures in a minute. So I'm 33 months old, and I've lived 4% of my life as Lacey, and 96% as Jim. And am I bitter about that? No, but I had to grieve it. It's hard. So your generation, what's my message to your generation? Be who you are. And do it. If you feel it, do it and be it. Don't wait. I have two big things now. Go where the love is and follow your joy. And do what makes you happy. And I loved being a teacher. I loved being a teacher. And so it's really crazy. I've had 10,000 students. I didn't sire 10,000 students. I had 10,000 students as a teacher and a principal in 50 years. That's a lot of kids. And I have a lot of kids that kind of reconnect with me on Facebook. And so I have had my two angels, Nick and Hillary. My daughter will be a journalism major. She'll be a junior at Wayne State in the fall. My son is just graduated from Purdue and an engineering degree. And he's an Army kid. And so he's like at Fort Benning, Georgia, in the infantry program, officer infantry school. Then he's going to go to Army Ranger School. So there's a great story that I'll show when you see his picture. So this is. So I'm really. I feel that I came out. I'm here, and as you can see, I'm pretty comfortable with myself. I don't feel like I'm in drag. I'm in my clothes. I feel like I dressed in drag my whole life as a boy, as a guy. And but I must tell you too, as counselors, I did the work. I went to therapy for a whole year before I came out. I mean, I had a therapist, and I wrote, and this isn't easy to do. But a lot of times people, when they're younger, get impulsive, and they just want to, well, let's do this now. I'm going to change my gender now. I mean, I've been approved for gender confirmation surgery, and I'm having that this fall. And some of my friends are worried about me because they don't want me to die on the table. Well, if that's what's going to happen, that's going to happen. But I'm in pretty good health. And so I don't feel, let's be honest about it. A vagina is not going to make the world perfect. But for me, it'll make me complete. It'll make me whole. It really will. That's important. So when I left my last job at a Montessori school in Ann Arbor, Michigan, I negotiated a buyout. And I don't think I was fired. I really grew the school. I was a really good administrator. And I decided, I said, I need a couple months, because I'm getting Social Security, but I need a couple months, I was getting my retirement. I need a couple months to really, for kind of just to kind of help me get by. And so they gave me 2 months severance pay. And this is Miss October, and this is Miss November. This is Cecilia, and this is Miranda. And Veronica will be born in October.
It had to be a V name.
What'd you say?
It had to be a V name.
Of course it did. Veronica, Ronnie for short. And my friend, this is really a riot. My friend who manages the dollar store, which I go to a lot because I can afford that, said, you know, I've got a name for you, Lacey. How about Veronica? Why does everything have to have a name? And this is the part that my guy friends quickly cross their legs and they get very nervous. I said, well, you know, the first question people ask me, you guys haven't asked that yet. You're so kind and so classy. Is that, well, does it work? Nobody waiting for the answer. The answer is no. Of course it doesn't work because I'll be on hormones the rest of my life. And I've been on testosterone blockers. There's about this much testosterone left in my body. And that's about it. But that's okay. I feel more like me now. And that's a good thing. I have a great hairdresser. And she's also sings with me. And I had a great surgeon. And when you're older, you can do a few more things. And that's okay. That's good. Any more questions along the way? No? Yes?
A question about your kids, like a personal relationship.
Yeah, anything you want.
That's okay with you?
Of course.
How were they about accepting everything and being supportive of you?
My son was really. I wrote a letter and read it to my wife, and she discovered that I was a cross-dresser in 2006. We were married in '93, and I was just trying to become myself. And I said to her, "This doesn't have to change or wreck our marriage." And so she said, "She's a very quiet person," and so I said, let's get counseling and make it better." And so she just didn't say anything, and so we ended up kind of having just a partnership, being parents without hugging and touching and having sex. And so we ended up, my daughter, when I read the letter to my daughter, she said, "That's okay, Dad, I'll love you no matter what." And she was 17, and that's agape love. My son wept because he was afraid he was going to lose all of his friends. I was a pretty well-known person in West Bloomfield. I coached, I ran leagues, and I subbed at the high school. It's kind of sad because high schools need more education. And some of you are going to work in high schools, some of you work in high schools now. They need you. And you talked about, Jared talked a little bit about the idea of health programs. I mean, we can't hide this anymore. How many more people have to die or commit suicide? Fuck that shit. Seriously, I'm sorry. Fuck that shit. And I normally don't talk like this, by the way. But it really pisses me off because people just like, I tried to sub. I was the most requested sub at the high school where my kids went. And they loved me as Jim. I was a 70 pounds heavier, roly-poly guy. You know, it's okay. Mr. B, Mr. Jim. And that was great. I called back and said, "Pat, he's the principal. I helped get the job." I said, "Pat, I'd like to sub at the high school." And he said, "We'll get back to you." And he never did. And so if I were maybe a different letter, but if you're a trans man, or a trans woman, it's not really looked upon too well. But high schools have to change. They really do. And I think you can help do that. And it's going to make it better. I spoke at my old high school where I was principal 2 years ago. I was really proud of that. Yeah. And I sat in the car and prayed for 20 minutes. Help me do this. And I walked in. I hired 30 people in high school, and it was pretty incredible. They were wonderful. It was good. I want to go back. I've had 4 surgeries. I've been in 7 fashion shows, and I've had 2 photo shoots. I'm living my life, and I don't give a shit what anybody thinks anymore because this is my life. You love me, great. You don't love me, you lose, because I'm a good person. You got to think like that too. I've been to 4 high school reunions. The first one was as Jim. The last 3 was Lacey. And I'm going again this fall. That'll be the 5th, and I have a blast. And you know, the guys that I play football with, they look at me like, well, first of all, they couldn't look at me the first time. They what the hell are you doing? This isn't Halloween. So but they're getting better, you know, and I get that. I understand this is hard for people. I'm not trying to be in their face. I'm just trying, maybe just by being who I am, I can teach a little bit. And that's what I'm trying to do. So it's anyway, I'm just happy to be me. I'm the world's oldest girly girl. And people say, golly, Lacey, people your age normally get religion because just in case. Well, it isn't about that. You know, I have this, to me, God is spirit. God is inside. And God is my Jewish friends. God is and I celebrate Easter, and I celebrate Good Friday, and I believe that Christ is interfaith too. It's not just about, sadly, my brother is a pastor, and he's very narrow-minded, and I love him, but I haven't seen him in years. And he wrote me email last night and said that we probably aren't going to have a relationship, and that really broke my heart, because that's the last blood that I have, and those guys. So it's like, I don't even hear from the other brother. So I have a new family, my church family. And that guy back there, who's a really good guy, by the way. No, that was unprompted. I love Jared, Michael, and Janie. And by the way, this is now my prom dress. But I think I need to wear a slip.
No.
Nah. No one's gonna want to see what's underneath this dress, trust me. Oh my God, that's crazy. Oh Lord, I love you, Jared. So anyway, I watched 25 Billy Graham specials, and my brother said, just say the words and God will come into your heart. Well, I did altar calls and nothing ever happened because I was too angry and had shame and all that crap, you know. So I had to become real to make God real, and that's what happened. And that's just a beautiful, beautiful thing. Any more questions? God, Lacey, you just talk so damn much. I've had a tsunami of rejection. A lot of people just don't understand. But it's okay. Each one makes you stronger. Amy, Jeff, Caleb, Myra, these are all my pastors. And then Rachel was my therapist. I told her I'd mention her name. Rachel's the president of Transgender Michigan. I'm on the board, and it's an organization that really tries to promote acceptance of who we are. And Rachel's an amazing person. So I give her credit. She saved my life. I saved my own life, but she helped me. She guided me through that whole pathway. And so I use the term bust my chops. For a while I've been, my daughter's the best at that. And can't you ask yourself, who busts your chops? Well, for a little bit he did tonight. That's good. And you're pretty good at it, by the way. So I said, okay, you can only bust my balls for like 6 more months. I'm so sorry. I've been working on that joke for a long time. Oh, but they're adults. They can take this. So I told that to my pastor. He said, Lacey, after he laughed, he said, you might want to put the word chops in there. Yeah, so, all right, Jeff, I'll do that. So, oh my God. So seriously, I don't know. People just need support. I have 2 brothers that don't accept me. That's okay. I call it the 4 C's. I'm calm, confident, comfortable, and complete as Lacey. I really am. I feel that now. It's just a blessing to feel that way. And it's late in my life, but it's also early in my life. And every day is a beautiful day. I kind of wake up feeling that way. What else I want to say? I have this really overwhelming sense of peace and calm and joy. And today's the best day ever, except for tomorrow. I've been really sick a lot. In 2019, I've had something called cellulitis. It's an old person disease, but not only just for old people. People get it. It hurts, and it's like. But I'm healed now. I'm not sure what's going on, but I feel great. My energy's back. I'm ready to kick ass and live my life. I'm living into my soul. I've been married 3 times, and I was actually engaged a 4th time. But I really feel happy that who I am. So I think that's enough of that stuff. I just want to say dysphoria is real. People say, well, you're just choosing a lifestyle. No. I'm choosing a life, not a lifestyle. As far as I'm concerned, a trans man, a trans woman, gay, lesbian, me, were born. I was born this way. And my doctor is a national expert on what's the word? Transgenderism, being trans. And his name is Dr. William Powers. He's brilliant. And he lists 10 different factors that could maybe have happened biologically in the womb before I came out feeling like a girl, but with boy parts. And maybe it's the flip for some people, for other people. So it's all about self-acceptance. So I'm kind of going through puberty and menopause at the same time. I call that pubescence. It's a new term. Oh my God. Okay, it's all right. So you guys are being so kind. This is really a powerful picture to me, a powerful thing. Things that people don't choose. You can read all that. I'm not going to read it to you. Things that people do choose. To be an asshole to people over things they can't control. Can I have an A fucking man?
A fucking man.
I'm so sorry. Jared says, Lacey, class up, girl. What did he say?
We have to evaluate him at the end of the class.
By the way, the first time I spoke was in Jared's class 2 years ago. And I'm honored about that. He gave me a chance. Yes, son.
How did the two meet? That's what you're
How'd you meet? You and
How
Dr.
did
Rose?
Tell them how, not everything that happened.
Oh, by the way, if you laugh at most of my jokes, there's no final. I'm only kidding. And the paper is like extra credit. No, it's not. I have a friend, one of the few friends from my past, that's good friends with these guys. And Janie was friends with my wife, my soon-to-be ex-wife. By the way, I've never, ever thrown my wife under the bus. It's hard for her, too. It's bad for my kids. So Janie was part of my wife's side of the family, Sharon's side. And Janie connected with me. And Jane Paxton, and she's wonderful. Love Janie Paxton. And so she said, why don't you come over? We're having a little party. And so I met Jared and Michael. And then we talked, and he invited me to come and speak. And he's been sorry ever since. Love you, Jared. All right, but this is to me that's really important. I love the tears, and you know I've had Danny, Vanessa, Missy, and Rachel, all friends I've lost to suicide. That doesn't have to happen. No way. And this is about remembering Danny Sohn. I got to get a picture of him. That sweet kid. And Leela Alcorn. Interestingly enough, she committed suicide, and that's a girl. Trust me. Are you familiar with Leela? Anybody familiar with this story? It's amazing. That's a powerful picture to me. And
were those words in her suicide?
she wrote those in her suicide note. And I'm not going to read them. You can read them to yourselves. But it's like it's just amazing. She's incredible. And I love this. This is it has to be there. Yeah, it's cute. Of course, now in the Joe Biden era, we have to say, well, it's okay if I hug you. It's just so sad. People need to be touched, but don't touch me. Good. I'm not a very touchy person. Too. That's my mom and dad.
Aww.
Yeah, 1946. My mom was Lutheran, Catholic, and she became Lutheran for my dad. And he just came home from the war and said, I want to get married and I want to have a son. Well, he had a son who was really a daughter. That was me.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Did your parents ever know Lacey?
My parents never knew Lacey, but I told my parents before I married the third time, before I had kids, that I felt more female than male. And they just listened. But I tried to come out. This is so hard. I tried to come out, fuck up my eye makeup. That's really bad. I tried to come out when I was principal at Harvard High School. I lived at night on weekends as, back then it was Jamie. Maybe it was Gabrielle, I'm not sure. Oh, I like that, Gabrielle. Okay. But, you know, it just didn't work. It was before therapy, before computers, before the internet. And all I had was these feelings. And I tried to, and I said, you know, this is too hard. So you can see the little dork with the suspenders. This is me.
Wait, at the end?
Yeah, this is truly a one-room schoolhouse. Yeah, the second one up, you know, and I was 5. And I knew then. Why did I want to be a girl? I had to be Roy Rogers, but I wanted to be Dale Evans. And I wanted to be Dale. So, and that's my 5-year-old picture. Looks like an antique, because it really is. Yeah, I kind of felt sorry for that kid. It's a long, that's why, you know, if you feel that this is you, it's so easy to be impulsive and to make quick change. I mean, you don't have to wait 68 years either. That's kind of a slow change. God, Lacey, why didn't you come out earlier? Well, something called survival and acceptance. And I didn't know who in the hell I was. So, but now your generation will be better, hopefully more accepting. Because I'm not going to be there are a lot of people in closets who are like me. People say, well, how many trans people are there? I don't know. Nobody ever interviewed me or surveyed me. How many are there? I don't know. There could be some people sitting here. Who knows? I mean, we're all right here. Yeah, Ash. Yay! You and me, Ash. But how many people really are? It's just being happy. It's accepting who you are, and that's what it's all about. And that's me on the right. God, that was a fucking good honk, eh? I'm sorry. I was okay. I did all right. Yeah, that's when I was principal. That was a National Exemplary High School, Heartland. I love. You know, it's funny because I threw myself into singing when I was a teacher, into teaching, and just to kind of like Bruce Jenner did, you know. And people say, "Well, did you want to be like Bruce?" No, I wanted to be me. But I think Bruce Jenner helped me. Caitlyn Jenner helped me kind of like expedite a little bit. And so there I am, a little fat, so chubster. And that was me. My best sport was baseball. I won a baseball scholarship to Central back in 1965. And I should have been really, my boy moans, my testosterone level should have been off the charts. But that night, I went home, and I was a senior. And I remember, like I can smell it. I grabbed a pink towel when everybody was in bed and my mom's pink lipstick, and I went to the bathroom and locked the door and pretended to be a girl. Isn't that crazy? Then I felt ashamed, and I felt it was such a wrong thing to do. So it's like, I have to wait 68 years. I played football. I hated playing football. It hurt. And that's me in 61. Those are all my buddies. Some of the guys that I go back to the reunion with, they look at me and I'm not sure about that. So I have a friend at church that gave me this little pendant. She said to me, "Hey, if I give you something, will you be embarrassed?" I said, "No, honey, you can't embarrass me." And so she said, this little pendant says, "This princess wore cleats," which is true. And there's my prom picture. No, that's what I wish. I mean, I remember when Marilyn Monroe died and how I grieved. Nobody saw that. I was at a baseball game at Tiger Stadium, I remember the streets, and back then, they didn't have the internet. And she died, I forget what year, but maybe the 60s. I don't remember what it was. But I remember just weeping inside about that. It was so sad. She had lived had life. These are all my cousins. I never had any guy cousins. I had all girl cousins. And I remember another interesting when they all went in as girls do sometimes. They went into the bedroom to paint their nails. And they got all giddy and excited, and the smell was intoxicating to me. And I said, I want to do that too. But I had to go in with the guys, my uncles and my grandparents, and my grandpa smoking cigars. And I'm thinking, I don't belong there. And Dolly Parton's another advocate. That's when I was president of fraternity in college. And I sang a song in church a while back called Both Sides Now by Joni Mitchell. It's really a great song. I've lived both sides of the coin there. So, and that's when I played in restaurants and pubs. And that's my first year teaching. So I just love being a teacher. And that's me in the middle. My brother Jerry is the ordained pastor on the right and the left, and my other brother is a lay pastor in Florida. Lives in Sanibel Island. I don't see them, and they don't quite understand, and they just kind of like, I'm really dead to them. It's kind of sad, but that's their choice. And I just give them grace, and I keep thinking, well, it'll get better. All right, questions? Anything anybody want to say? Questions, comments? Okay. That's just something I liked. And I love being a dad. I just threw myself into it. And I think I said this before, that if I had a choice, 50 years as Lacey or being a dad, what do you think I'd have won? Being a dad. I love my kids. It's great. That's one of my, it's interesting because trans women don't really like their pictures of their former selves. And I really don't, I love that picture though. But I love, we almost can't believe the pictures. I put a lot of things on Facebook. I said, well, if you don't like it, then don't look at my Facebook page. I like who I am now. That's important. That's my little girl, Hillary. I love that picture. And that's number 5. They're such good kids. That's Nick. That's my baby girl.
It's very pretty, yeah.
Yeah, she's a great kid. And that's when I was beginning my transition, and she graduated in 2016. I forget. And that's when I picked her up from school. I love that picture. It's amazing how different I feel like I look.
Was that the first time that she saw you as Lacey?
No, actually, she saw me back in 2016. I hadn't moved out of the house yet. And she wrote an essay called My Female Father, and which is pretty powerful. It's gripping, and it can we get along great. And it was an award-winning essay, and she was the only freshman in her creative writing class to get an A. And that's she and her boyfriend and their dog Blue.
You have a grandpa?
My grand dog. Jared knows about grand dogs or your own sons. They're your kids. Dogs are your kids. And my cats, right?
I don't have any grand dogs.
Well, you could. Yeah, this could be your grand dog. And that's my son Nick. That was the last time I was invited to Purdue. And I went early in my transition, and I got that. I wasn't going to be invited back to Dad's Day at the fraternity house. I knew that. And their decisions. I would never embarrass my kid, ever. But I must tell you, this is really amazing. This is powerful. I prayed for 3 years that my son would accept me, and that we'd be close again. Because I coached him in everything, and I love this kid. And so he graduated this past December 16th from Purdue. And he called me 5 times and said, are you coming to graduation? I hope you're coming to graduation. I said, you really want me there? And he said, yeah, I want you there. And so during this, that was on Saturday. I didn't see him. I was invited to his wife's family, and they just embraced me. I'm a good person. I'm a lot of fun. You know, I'm free and easy. It's okay. You know, I'm not no better than anybody else, but I'm free and easy. And then on Monday was this military commissioning, and all of my former in-laws were there, 20 of them, and not one spoke to me. Not one. His wife's family, and I'm not bad mouthing them at all, but because they don't understand. They're very conservative and East Lansing, powerful and good people, but they just didn't get it. And but that day, his behavior didn't change. I saw him grow up in front of my eyes. I mean, typically, if he were changing, he would have not talked to me. He came to see me. He said, "Are you all right, Dad?" And he called me Dad. I said, "Don't call me Lacey. Call me Dad. I'm your dad. I'm your father. And don't call me." That was great. So, he introduced me to his commanding officer. "This is my dad. I look like this." And that was so powerful. So I saw my kid grow up in front of my eyes that day. God answers prayers. It took 3 years. And so God waited for me for like almost 70 years. I only had to wait 3, my kid. So there he is. He, Army Airborne, and he'll be an Army Ranger.
You're so proud, aren't you?
Yeah, I really am. Yeah, he's a good kid. Yeah, it's they'll do. You know, I keep thinking, what's the lesson of my life? Is it, well, good fashion, good makeup? No, this is a veneer. Lacey's my soul, and this is my soul. This is who I am, and I know that. Mind, body, and soul. This is who I am, and not everybody can get that, and that's really powerful. And so maybe the lesson of my life is to be who you are and be happy. As young, live as long and as young and as free as you can. And but help kids get help. That's the key. Because people can make quick decisions. And I have a friend who is probably going to detransition because she doesn't like herself. She doesn't like who she's become. I mean, that's why I went through a year of therapy. And I went through a year of support group. And that's really powerful. I knew I was breaking out. I mean, this was like, it was either live this way or die. I couldn't do it any other way. And those are my kids. I have the best kids in the world. Yeah, that's not my son's wife, Kylie. She's in the military as well. They both have engineering degrees. Get this. He's married. They get 40% more cash in the Army because they're married, because they love each other. That's a pretty good deal. He's got a truck, a brand new truck. He's got a dog, and his college is paid for. What the hell? His life is pretty effing good. And but he worked. He earned every bit of it. He earned the military scholarship. That's about $25,000 a year. Costs $50,000 to go to Purdue. And so they're wonderful. I think she helped him accept me, and that's good. There they are again. And that's Henry. Henry's an actual hound dog. Seriously. Yeah, he's from Alabama. Oh, God. He's a hound dog. Yeah, and that's Rachel Crandall. Now, Rachel's going to be really proud that I mentioned her name today. She said, "Don't forget to mention me." Yes, I will, Rach. Rachel is my therapist. Now she's my sister, and she's an amazing woman. She's been out 25 years. She's a therapist, just like you guys. And that's early in my transition. You know, so I've changed so much since then. And that's me for a Halloween party. Will you buy me in my head? No, I would love to look like that. My God, but I'm attracted to the 20s. It's funny because there's so many funny things have happened. I'm beginning to write things down because I want to do a little stand-up at the comedy club. What the hell? You know, why not? What am I waiting for? Until I'm 80? No, I'm going to go and have a good time because I'm my own best material. And so, oh my God, it's crazy. So I have this friend who I believe people can do this. People can look into the future and people can look into the past. And I believe that that's true. And even more so now. And so I said, I've always been attracted to Lauren, I've been attracted to the 20s. She said, well, I have good news and bad news, Lacey. And so the good news is that you lived during that time. The bad news is you had a disease. And you said you had syphilis. I'm thinking, wait a minute, I'm not buying that bullshit. I went to Gatsby parties. That's what I went to. So I'll buy some of it, but not all of it.
Where do you think you got the syphilis from?
Huh?
Gatsby parties.
Of course. You're just really smart and snarky, aren't you, little girl? I love you, kid. You're great. Jocelyn, that's right. Remember Jocelyn? No, you're right, sweetheart. And this was the advertisement to my fall party, Be a Star party. And that was great. And we had belly dancing like we're going to do again this Friday. My first prom this Friday. Yes?
What star did you dress up as?
Trying to recall.
It wasn't Marilyn?
Oh, I could never be married. Although my ass has got bigger. It's the truth. Yeah, hormones change it. But they work better on younger people than older people. I'm not sure how it works for trans guys, but for me, there he is. Proud of that baby. I don't have a name for her yet, though. But I'm sure. Oh my God! Quickly end this. Oh, anyway, I wore that mask at the I'll be wearing that mask again. I love that mask. It's so fun.
Pretty.
Yeah. This is I did this for the church. You know, my church is like social justice. Not all churches are like this, but I go to church now 5 nights a week. I go to Wednesday night practice. I go to Tuesday night my book club, which is really like we go to the church bar and we just talk about life, which is great, right next to the church. And then Thursday's choir tomorrow, and then I'm off Friday. And then Saturday is my senior peeps. I go to Saturday church, and then 9 o'clock I sing in the band, and 11 o'clock I sing in the choir. So it's 5 nights, 5 times a week, and it's great. So I didn't want to just to go to bars and be, you know, with my own kind. I want to live in the mainstream. I have nothing against trans women. I love trans women. I am a trans woman, but I wanted to just be in the norm. In fact, I got a job at Kroger. I mean, I'm a very successful principal and almost a doctorate, but I became a dad instead. That's a doctorate over there, that guy. And I'm 2 classes and a dissertation away from a doctorate, but I became a dad. That was better as a high school principal for me in my life. So I got a job in the bakery at Kroger, making $7 an hour, decorating cakes. And so on Halloween, the first night, but it was the same one I went to as a guy for 17 years. And so this lady said to me, it was Halloween, so I gave everybody else the time off. I'll take it because I don't have, my kids are older. We're not trick-or-treating. And so somebody came in and said, "You're a guy." She said, "Great costume." And I'm thinking, no, I'm really a trans person. So I didn't get pissed off. I just explained to her what that really was, and she didn't know. And she thanked me at the end, and that was great. So I don't walk around with a big T on my forehead saying, you ask me about being trans. I don't do that. But if it comes up, the worst thing ever happened to me. I was in the hospital in December, almost over the first part of the year. A doctor came in, because I haven't legally changed my name yet. It costs $300-400 to change your name.
Whoa.
And that's a lot of money. And I'm trying to, just really be with my tuition was a lot. And so paying for kids' college and things. So at any rate, the doctor came in and said, "James?" I said, "Please call me Lacey." He said, "Well, it says you're James here. I'm going to call you James." And I'm wearing makeup and trying to really look nice. And I feel awful because my leg's really hurting. And then he said to me, "Well, you have," I said, "Please, I'm female. I'm a woman, I'm a trans woman." He said, "Well, you have a pretty low voice for a woman." And then he asked me.
This is a doctor?
It's a doctor in Beaumont Hospital in Royal Oak. Not Royal Oak. And then he said to me, "Well," he said, "do you have a vagina? That'll make you a woman."
You should have. Did you report him? Please
And I
don't.
did. I reported him to the top of
What
the
the
hospital.
hell?
And then what I said, let me do something. I'd be happy to do a workshop for you, explain what being trans is, but they haven't called back. And they probably won't. But that was the worst. That was intentional misgendering.
Yeah.
Sometimes I get misgendering because of my voice. I don't think my voice is that low. But so I hate when people say, "Thank you, sir." You know, don't call me sir. That's almost like, that's wrong. So that lady right there is an angel. 2/16 December 24th, that was Christmas Eve, and I was alone for the first time in my entire life on Christmas Eve. And that lady was a pastor, and I just went to church. I didn't even know it was her. She was there. And so I said, the only cure for grief is action. So I just did something. I was so deeply depressed. And Amy just saved me. And that's my current pastor. That's Pastor Jeff.
He looks fun.
He is one fun guy. And you know, I don't see him a lot because our church is about 500 people, and he's got so many things he does. I see Caleb, who's you'll see a picture of him in a minute. But Jeff, just like Jared creates the culture in this room and with a marvelous job, and you guys feel so safe in here to share. That's beautiful. That's what it's supposed to be like. Jeff does that in the church. And he not only welcomes you, but he invites you in and then lets you connect. And so I have spoken in my church 3 or 4 times, told my story, my faith journey. And then he interviewed me. The Methodist Church is coming out with some big decision that was anti-us, you know. And it was sad because it's, but he interviewed me on live, Facebook Live. And 2,400 people saw that. Not because I'm really important, but just because it's kind of unique. And so I've had so many opportunities, and now I want to do that for other people. I want to invite other people in. Not because it's to make them Methodist, just to give them community. Because we all need a place to go. It doesn't have to be church. It could be wherever. So, and that's my pastor. That's Caleb. I love this guy. I call him he's like Methodist eye candy. He says, I'll go with that. He's a handsome dude. He's great. And we got really close. I'm the band manager, kind of like the band mom. And so I can sing. And so we harmonize together, and he's a blessing to me. I only missed one Sunday in 2 years. My son's graduation. That was it. And these are my friends, and this is Pastor Myra in the middle, and we surprised her for her commissioning, and she's an angel, and so I'm pretty good there, but again, sorry, you gotta take what you can get. And these 2 guys are going to be teaching salsa at my prom.
Nice.
They've only been here from Germany for a year. This is Sibel. She's adorable. That's Stefan, who's crazier and wackier than a wackadoo. But they're just so much fun. So, and that was me at my baptism, the reaffirmation of my baptism last year, 1 year ago. That was pretty powerful. And this is Carl and Shirley Schaefer. Carl's 92, fought in World War II at age 17. And this is Shirley.
They're so adorable.
She's 90. And that was at the party in September. So they were just great. And Carl says to me, he says, Lacey, for God's sakes, cheer up. Which he really means because I'm really happy all the time, kind of like joyous, and he's got a little irony there. And then he said to me, he says, you know, Lacey, I've adopted you. You're my large trans daughter. Yeah, I'll buy that. I'll take that. And those are people. That's Laura on the right, and that's Amber. I have 2 kids in my band, in the band. And this is my daughter and Laura. And first time we ever went out dress shopping, and they didn't buy anything. Like they were $400 or $500, but it was fun to go out and try them on, you know. And these are kids at church who are activists. And this is my philosophy now. Don't call it a dream, call it a plan. Make things happen. And I believe this. I had this in my office as a principal. Be tender with the young, compassionate with the aged, sympathetic with the striving, tolerant with the weak and wrong. Sometime in your life, you'll have been all of these. It's true. And those are my colors. And this is my voice teacher. Isn't she adorable? This is Katrina. I'm learning not only to have my voice, but I'm learning to kind of get my identity as a female. Yes, hon?
So you talked about being lonely and, in between, like before.
Yeah.
And then, but you've always seemed to have been spiritual and church going. So is this a new church you went to and found all these friends?
I didn't go to church. It's a very new church, only 2 years old.
Okay.
And I didn't go to church for like 30 years.
Is it correct to say you were pretty lonely and going through all of this, and then you just kind of one day walked into a church and you just found all these?
Well, I used to be a creaster. Christians that go on Easter and Christmas. Twice a year. My God did my part. No, but no, I didn't go to church. But it doesn't mean we didn't teach kids values and we didn't teach them love. And to me, God is love.
So did you kind of start attending like once you were very
I went to church because I just didn't want to just go to the bars. And so I said, I want to meet somebody, and I still want to meet somebody. I haven't met anybody yet, and maybe it's not yet. I'm not ready for that yet. It could be, that's okay. And so I hope to meet someone, and I'm attracted to. You haven't asked that question either, by the way. I'm attracted to trans women. I'm attracted to, how shall I say, kind of like somewhat effeminate men. Not butchy guys, but guys that have a feminine sweetness about them. And so, I don't know, just good people. But I know that I'm not heterosexual. So these are my things. I love glitter, fun stuff. And that's me when I was younger.
Your 20s.
Yeah, that's good.
At your gas parties.
Yeah, that party, that's good. And that's me trying to be sexy. It's not working for 71-year-old woman. Not really. And that's me when I had red hair with the fourth one. I love these pictures. For some reason, this is really good. And that picture, I'm not into the Day of the Dead and all the skulls and everything, but that face, that's a purse I bought. I love that face. And so it just drew me in. I love that. It's incredible. And there's that picture again. And this is an interesting story. It's the first year before I went to, first time I ever sat in a chair, had my makeup done and my hair done. And it was 216 in the fall. I'm thinking, I waited my entire, something you girls take for granted. And most people say, do you have to wear makeup? No, I'm not gonna wear makeup. I had a friend, I wept when that happened. I wanted to do that my entire life. And now I go twice a week because I can. I was there this morning. And Corinne now sings with me in the gospel band. She's plays violin too. She's amazing. So that's Lizzie. Lizzie's a rock star. So it's really cool. Good stuff. I get to babysit for kids now and then, and the kids get me. They understand I'm not full of shit. Well, I am, but they don't quite get that. And so this is Birdie. And Birdie's mom is Julie. And this is great. And Julie, oh God. And Julie said, Julie came. She's like maybe 32. Julie's a sweetheart, maybe 35. And she has 4 kids: Henry, Linus, Oscar, and Beatrice. All old names. I love all those old names. Anyway, this is Birdie. Birdie likes my glasses. She likes my earrings. So every time I go babysit, she has to wear my stuff. So I love that little girl to death. So Julie says, Lacey, I'm coming to your United Methodist Women's Group. I just want to support you. And then she said to me, this is the first time in 20 years I've wore pantyhose. And I said, no kidding, Julie. Honest to God. Well, I go, you don't have to do that. She said, they want to embarrass the old seniors. Sweetheart. And this is Myra's group. My pastor Jeff calls us the scoundrels. They become my sisters. They're just sweethearts. That's my second birthday.
You look so happy.
I am very happy. I should have wore a bra that day. I'm a little saggy. It's not good. Well, I've got a new bra and these babies puppy. And this is really kind of funny. My daughter, oh, good God. My daughter said, Dad, are they balloons? So she started going like this. Saying, you can't do that. He said, yes, I can. We're both girls. So she said, stop it. So it's okay. You gotta be comfortable with yourself. It's all right. And this is Michelle. She turns 50. Can you believe that? My God, she gorgeous. She turns 50 Friday night.
Really?
And Jeff is just a rock star. Jeff says, Lacey, it's just fucking church. Don't worry about it. He's just he's not like, he's just so down to earth and so real. Just what a wonderful guy. Love that guy. And I love this picture. This is Deb Woodman. Deb is, ironically, Deb lives near Midland on property where my dad and I used to deer hunt. That was crazy. And this is her beautiful daughter. And they came to my party. Deb does all the photo shoots. And she's studying to be what you guys are, a clinician, a therapist, and counselor. And that's my favorite picture of me. I really saw my soul in that picture. And that's a picture that Caleb took at church, where I spent most of my time. Yeah, I like that one too. And that's Nick, graduation day. My hair was a little more purple, now it's kind of violet. This is kind of funny. I go into, I had done that week, and so I go into the Chinese restaurant, and this lady says to me, Halloween was over in October. And I want to say, fuck you, bitch. But I didn't. I took the high road. I said, I'm not here to please you. I'm here to make me happy in my life. It doesn't matter what you think.
I'm glad you take the high road. That makes way more room for the low road for the rest of us.
And then I gave her the finger. No, I didn't do it, but I really wanted to. Oh my God, I give her the 2-finger ring. And then I go to church, and Jeff says, Lacey, purple is the color of Advent, of Lent, and what was the other thing? So another word that I can't think of the word, and something really important. Retribution, not retribution. It was something else, another religious word. I can't think of it. But then he made me feel good. He said, listen, you're very liturgically appropriate. I said, thank you, Jeff. You're such an angel. And then he said to me, oh my God, he said, Lacey, if my mom were alive, you and her would be the same age, 71. Well, that's good. And there was a kid, I did choir camp last summer with the kids, and one of the kids said, are you Pastor Jeff's sister? And I said, Jeff, the kids think I'm your sister. He said, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. We both have big asses. Thank you, Jeff. Oh my God, he's such an angel. It's crazy. She who is brave is free. And I'm free. I believe free. And God's help me. Yeah, I love this phrase. Quote. I used to be an English teacher. And now I write elliptically. It drives Caleb nuts. It drives my daughter nuts. And I don't use dots, and I don't write in caps. I write kind of like elliptically. What the hell's that? Well, so be the heroine of your life, not the victim. And pit bulls and trans women have a lot in common. Maybe, I'm not sure about trans men, Ash, but we're misunderstood a lot. And so maybe by doing this, we'll maybe enlighten people. You guys are already enlightened. You guys get it. But I've been around pit bulls more in the last 6 months, and they're sweethearts. Mm-hmm. They really are. Who has a pit bull? Anybody? Do you really? They're wonderful dogs, aren't they?
I have a pit mix.
You have a what?
I have a pit mix.
What is that?
We're not sure what the other half is, but she's like half pit bull, half something
Well,
else.
good dog.
Yes.
Sweet dog.
She's such a sweetheart.
She's a sweetheart. It's all how they're raised, Questions? Anybody? I've been talking too much again. I'm sorry. Okay. We're almost over. You guys have
What
been great.
Chinese restaurant were you at?
Yeah, we just want to know.
It was in Farmington Hills, near where I live.
Remember that, seriously, we can go.
I'm gonna go visit.
Yeah.
And this is Corinne. This is my wonderful hairdresser. And she's not only a hairdresser, she's a talented young woman, and she sings, and she's gonna, she wrote a song for we have this thing on Friday night, Good Friday night, it's called the 7-Word Service. And it's the last 7 words that the 7 phrases Christ said from the cross. And the first one is about forgiveness. And forgive them for they don't know what they do. And she wrote a song called Forgive. And she's gonna play it that night. And she's an angel. She's a great kid. Well, she's like 30. She's 2 years younger than me. I'm 33. She's 30. So I get along with these millennials. I could be her great grandmother, you know. And my cats, I love my cats.
You have a question?
I have a question.
Yeah, yeah.
What kind of cat do you have and what is their name? And also tell them that I love them.
You are so darn cute. You're adorable.
Thanks.
Put you in a closet and take you out play. No, seriously. And that's a good thing, by the way. Not a bad
I was
thing.
gonna say,
It
don't
sounds a
keep
little
friends,
creepy.
it's a good time.
I meant that in a good way, sweetheart. Anyway, my cat's named Nala,
Okay.
and my rabbit's named Bun. And so I'm thinking about, and rabbits, I mean, cats kill rabbits, but they grew up as little kids. Shit, get it together. They grew up as little from babies. And so there's a lesson there. You know, they didn't learn to hate. And well, the rabbit's kind of funny, because the rabbit tries to hump the shit out of her. And then when he realizes it doesn't work, he's kind of like an old person. He just cuddles. It's kind of like, it's really a riot. I think it's so much fun. Oh my God. So I just sort of, I think I'm going to write a little story called The Wild and Crazy Adventures of Nala and Bun. So, well, I do that book first. So this is me, and I'm really happy. I'm just happier than shit. I've never been this happy. And there they are. There they are.
Cute.
He's got the biggest ears, and she licks the crap out of him. She just licks him, and then when she's pissed off, she just slaps him. She just slaps the shit out of him.
They just hang out like that?
Huh?
They just hang out like that?
They have about 5 chairs they jump on in my apartment. It's like, yeah.
Has the bunny ever gotten angry? Because I used to have a bunny, and we had a dog that would go so we had it on the back porch, and the dog would come up to the screen, and the bunny's leg would lift up, and he would slap it down. Literally sounded like someone was slapping a bell on it.
I know. He does that when he tries to get that's his little testosterone thing.
Yeah.
He says, no, he's very subservient to Nala. Nala's bigger, and you know, I feed him way too much. Well, now, what have I got to do? This is my family, and so they just cuddle. And she you can see her paws on his neck, and she just
do not move.
do not move. You are mine. I think they're like LGBT animals. I'm not sure what letter they are. Maybe it's a little bestial thing. I'm not sure what. But anyway, this is the book that a lot of people call me Aunt Lacey. I like that. It's very grandma shit.
Better than grandma.
It is. So this came from Deb, the photographer. And so it's like, when you can't fit in, you gotta learn to stand out. My other favorite one is, if you can't ride somebody else's float, build your own and start your own parade. But let other people jump on your float too. I like that. And I love this. I'll let you read it yourselves. You were who you were, for the world got its hands on you. God, is that true? And do it more of what makes you happy. This makes me happy. You guys make me happy tonight. Jared makes me happy.
Yeah, he's alright.
Her name is Jocelyn. No, that's Jocelyn.
I mean, you can blame that on Jocelyn.
Believe me, I know.
She's the girl with the cool glasses. And this is my my boy branch on the left, my girl branch on the right. Trees are metaphors for me. I grew up on a farm, and I'm not a holy roller. I'm not Mother effing Teresa. Give me a break. I swear like a banshee, as you know, you are right down here. But no, I think Jesus swore too. I really do. I'm sorry. I think you did. And so I'm just feeling, whether it's spirit, whether it's peace, you know, it's there's something. I got it. So it's here somewhere. You guys have been great. I really appreciate your attention. And here, yeah, it's right here. Yeah. One of my friends that died painted that. She's a really gifted person. And I love this. Philosophy of life. Hope you laugh more, sing top of your lungs, drive with the windows down, let the wind F it rustle through your damn hair. Hope you hug, but ask permission first. It's the Biden era. I hope you kiss. I hope I do too someday. I had lip surgery. I hope you. I didn't make these lips for nothing, for God's sake. I hope you surround yourself with people, make you feel alive. Hope you become the type of person that brings good energy wherever you go, and type of person people want to be around. Hope you speak what's on your mind. You raise your voice for injustice. You tell others that you love them instead of waiting until it's too late. Hope you live louder, shine brighter from this moment on. Badass. I love that. That's really great. And I love this little phrase. I'm not sure where it came from. Be strong when you are weak. Be brave when you are scared. Be humble when you are victorious. But be fucking badass every single day. That's good. And this is one of my favorites. Look at her face and look at her hand. Her hands look like mine. But you know what? That lady's lived. And she's used every color in the crayon box. And that's what's really important. Live your life with color. Use the whole box of crayons. And that's me when I was being after. No, it's not me. I wish it would have been me. But that's like a metaphor. That's the world. That's your world too, by the way. It's just out there waiting for us to write the script. You guys are such a beautiful time of your life. Just do what makes you happy. Go out and just make an impact. What Jared's teaching you is so important. What you're learning is critical. I mean, I love being a principal and a teacher, and it's a great life. And that's that part. And I want to read one thing to you. Then we're going to sing a song, and then I'll be done. And I stood up the whole damn time. I can't believe I did that. Holy mackerel! And I happened to. I'm going to sit down and do this. I really am 71. Going on 92. Yeah. This is from Chief Tecumseh, and I think the Indians, we did such a disservice to the Indians way back when. Maybe these people say it was destiny. I don't know what the hell it was, manifest destiny. But this is Chief Tecumseh said, "So live your life that the fear of death can never enter your heart. Trouble no man about his religion. Respect him in his views." Now, man is like men and women. Respect him in his views and demand that he respect yours. Love your life. Perfect your life. Beautify all things in your life. Seek to make your life long and of service to your people. Show respect to all men, but grovel to none. When you arise in the morning, give thanks for the morning light, for your life and your strength. Give thanks for your food and the joy of living. If you see no reason for giving thanks, the fault lies with yourself. Chief Tecumseh, Lakota tribe. I love that. So, before I end with the song you're going to help me sing, yeah, yes you are. And,
Right?
yeah, it's gonna be pretty too. We're gonna get on the
see.
voice. And does anybody have any questions or anything? Yeah, go ahead. Tom.
I guess, knowing that we're gonna be future counselors, what would be something that you would want us to know when working with clients who are trans?
Probably listen longer. Listen. Don't think about what you're saying. Just listen, completely listen to people, to a kid, and suspend judgment. That's a powerful one. I try to do that as a principle. Listen a little longer, walk a little slower, suspend judgment, but don't be afraid to make the tough decisions. And you're gonna face some of those. And Jared knows the legal things that will keep you out of trouble, keep you in a job, and that's important because you gotta live. And that's why people never expected me to be lazy. I never was effeminate. In fact, I don't act like Wendy Williams. I don't do lip wrist shit. I just try to act myself. Just be who I am. I wrote a song. I sang a song a couple years ago. I just did the last verse, and it was "To Hallelujah" by Leonard Cohen, which I love that song. And I redid the last verse, and it was on Good Friday. So I sang 2 years ago, and I'm singing again this year. I'm not doing this song, but I rewrote 3 more verses to it. And so I'd like to sing those, and then have you sing with me at the end. And sing like nobody's listening. Just open up your mouth, let it all come out. And here we go. And I'm going to try to stand up again. All right. Oh, Uni, for God's sakes, pay attention. Shit, you too, cock. Sorry.
Are you though?
I've got to come up with a name for that. If I ever work, if I do this presentation in an elementary school, it ain't gonna fly. College has small kids, no. I didn't stay there with the United Methodist Women's Group on Thursday. I was a little bit. Okay, here we go. Maybe I've been here before. I know this room, I walk the floor. I used to feel alone before I knew ya. I've seen your flag on the marble arch. My life is not a victory march. It's a cold and it's a broken hallelujah. Here we go. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Extra credit if you sing. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. I never knew our God above, yet all I tried to do was love, to care about the people that I knew young. It was my cry you heard at night. I'm not someone who's seen the light. My life is still a broken hallelujah. 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 Only 10 more verses. Just 2. Oh God, Lacey, can we go to the bar now? Shut the fuck up. It's supposed to be a reverence song. I apologize. You forgive, I know you forgive. There is this light I see in me. I feel it and I am so free. The sweet peace and the love I never knew ya. My light, it shines so brightly now. My dreams are coming true somehow. A golden and unbroken hallelujah. Here we go. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. I need all the lighters. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. There was a time I didn't know if I could go on, The pain was just too much. It cut right through you. But now it's true, I love myself, a blessing from our God above. I'm a happy and a healthy hallelujah. 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 If you sing, don't have to take the final. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Sorry, Jared. I love you, Jared.
I actually sang that one.
I know. Pretty damn good too, aren't you? It's a confident girl. Well, God, screw American Idol. We're going right to The Voice. American Idol's a junior varsity. Voice is the varsity. So, I need a selfie if you care to. That's my only pay. And God bless you and thank you for your time. You give me hope for the future. You guys really do. You guys are great.
Don't jinx it.
Any final questions?
No.
I don't know.
Or it's still going, and now we're talking.
Sometimes it records when the screen goes black.
Yeah.
You can type in your password. It's still recording, but no, it's still recording. You just have
I'll
to.
edit this bit out.
Yeah.
No,
No, we want the hug.
You know what he just said?
No, don't.
I love you,
She
bitch.
pulled that the last semester too. Do not, no, she's not empowered to do that. I love her dearly, but no.
He is a rock star.
I think she
No.
should have access to campus.
That's the
Online.
Oh, okay.
But any other, like honestly, any other final questions for her? Because she's not kidding about the picture. She
I'm
will require that if you are comfortable.
Those
with
that
that.
wish to. If you don't want to, that's okay too. And you flunked the class. I'm only kidding.
Any other questions?
Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
It was an honor to share with you. You guys are great. I miss being a principal and a teacher. Yeah. Thank you for allowing me to come in.
You know you're always welcome.
Yeah, you should have came every
It's fine
day.
that you like first.
I cut my eye teeth on you.
You did.
You spawned to me.
It was wonderful.
Ooh.
Wait.
I'm your daughter.
Wait. I
Dad.
thought we agreed to it.
It's good.
We are definitely family at this point.
We are family.
Definitely family
Yeah,
at
that's
this
good.
point.
So if you, I don't know how to do this, but anybody?
We'll figure it out. So maybe over there.
Sure.
Does that work? Do you want it on your phone, or you want me to do it and send it to you?
I'll do it on my phone.
Okay. So we'll